There we go. All right, back at it again with our favorite Termi boy. Ooh. All right, where we left off with him yesterday. So far, I'm really liking how that red looks. And continue on. I'm gonna start with a little bit of an experimentation. Oh, whoops. Because actually gonna use Iron Hand Steel for some metal. Usually use Lead Belcher, which is this guy. But I've never actually used Iron Hand Steel, so I just want to see how it looks. That on there. I'm hoping it's a darker silver, but if not, well, I have ways of making it darker. Get the blade. And okay, yep, that is definitely a brighter silver than what I was hoping. But already putting silver on that blade is just making it look so much better. Ugh, getting these angles is weird. And if it is brighter than I would like, I'm not too worried. I have means of darkening it. That being said, for the rest of it, the rest of my metals, I am going to actually switch to lead belcher. Start getting all the little cables and stuff that he's got back here, as well as the vents on his back. You may have noticed I haven't done the wax of the purity seal yet, but these little participation awards that he gets all strapped to his armor. Not to worry, I will be getting to those momentarily. Get that. Amazing what just adding a color does. Like one little spot. Said, get the vents of his armor here. Hope we don't get too much on the red. Got a little bit on the red there. Worry. I don't really want to lean in for. Ah. This big thing right here. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Alright. Fix up the red on those vents. Should we get all the little metallic particles out of our brush? Take our darker reds that have and just start moving upwards with it, because that way the strokes will look like they belong. Sometimes it might take a bit because I still got to keep it thin to make sure that, it doesn't dilate it too much. In fact, if I may be so bold, I feel like it looks a little better than it did before. All right. All right, moving on from his back. Let's get all the metal on his little firearm here. Dang headphones. Getting the barrels of his gun. In the underside. Okay. Getting there. Slowly but surely getting there. Those little clips holding the magazine in place. Try to get away from me there. Make sure I didn't miss anything on him. I'm gonna try a little if this does anything. Probably not, but worth a shot. Want to see if the lead bilger can darken some spots on the sword. Not really. They seem to be fairly close together. Iron hand, steel, and lead bilger. That said, I'd say that's the. Oh wait, no. There's one little tiny spot. Do. And that's these little rivets on his head. Well, I guess just the one. The other one is in his head. Well, not back of his head, but too deep in there to get to. Now, let's see about giving his, yo, is that red? How's it going, bro? I feel like it's been a while since you've, popped yourself in here. And, so far, we're doing good. Got ourselves moved into a new building. And now we're just, trying to keep the lights on. Let's get, some life put into his face, shall we? Alright. Starting with some Bugman's Glow. Usually the go-to undercoat when it comes to doing skin. Busy painting and trying to lose weight. I mean, shoot, that's a good it's a good thing to try to do for yourself. I know it's something I kind of got to work on too. I'm getting kind of a I'm starting to look like my dad. Starting to get his beer gut. And I don't even drink beer. All right, that's a nice little clean coat. Hold on, let me see if I missed something there. Nope. Okay, that's not. And so now, moving on from Bugman's Glow, let's do some Acadian flesh tone to really bring his skin to life. So, what projects you've been painting on, Red? When in doubt, we do another coat. You don't have a beer gut, more of a beer barrel. Well, hey. I was trying to think of a joke for that, but I can't. I'm sorry. Because of this stuff. I need to stop drinking this stuff. As I continue to drink it. Finish your Bretonians, nearly finished the towel. Thought I finished them, then realized I didn't paint the lenses. Oh, right. I do not want to go into how annoying it is when you've been working on something for like a while and you're just so happy to finally have it done and all that. You get your brushes cleaned off, you're about ready to just stop and just look at your work. And as you're admiring it, you notice one whole thing that you just didn't get. It just makes you want to throw it across the room. Here. Yeah, post them in Discord. I'd like to see them. This is my first time being able to work on a model of my own in like months. And we're trying to build up our online presence a little bit more, so why not stream ourselves doing it? I'm gonna be stopping in like an hour and a half from now. Get a good like maybe 2 hours streaming in, and then hopefully, as long as things go to plan, uh, my good brother will take it from there. I am your morning host. So if you want to see Jesse Red, just hang around for a couple hours. Sure, he'll be happy to see you. Alrighty. Got some skin on that face. And now we're gonna give it a little bit of a wash with some Franklin Flesh Shade to hopefully sink into those little crevices on his face. Then give his face a little bit more of a, alive look. And on one particular side, I'm probably going to be a little more generous because I want his other side of his face to look more dark. Particularly that side. The side going into his armor. Let that dry a bit. We go over it again. Yep. Thankfully, it should dry pretty quickly. Hey, yo, what up, Vince? Good to see you back here again. Yeah, so far, I'm actually pretty happy with him. Obviously, there's still some highlighting and shading I'm going to be doing. I'm planning, a little bit of a spoiler here, but I'm planning for the sword to do something that I haven't done before on anything. So you get to see me attempt it live. And then when I screw it up, feel free to laugh. Uh, is I'm going to try to actually add some like lightning effects to the sword here. Coming out of the little coil right here and just going along with some like white and blue little effects. All right. shade on his face should be dry, so I'm going to go over it again. And in any areas where I think I might have done too much, I can just go back to the Cadian flesh tone. That's generally what I do, Vince, is what we do is we airbrush primer, and then whatever the main coat is, like in this case it'd be red. And if we want to get a little bit fancier with the red and we feel confident with our airbrush, we can like do some like brighter reds, try to get some highlights going, which is what I did here. Technically there's even more that I could have done with that, but I'm honestly not sure yet. I actually, since I'm going to be painting my own models again, I'm probably gonna start researching again. Because I haven't been on that. That said, doing it by airbrush is not a requirement. It's just, it just makes life easier. Like when I was first painting miniatures, I was doing like the red by hand and all that, and like you definitely can do that. It just takes a little bit longer. That's all. All right, now that should be dried. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Cadian flesh tone. I need to get a little bit focused. My head might get in the way. If so, I greatly apologize. I'm just gonna pick out some risen areas on his face, like the tip of his nose. And start brightening that up again. Now, I don't have the best brushes for this at the moment because I got some old, worn down brushes. I'm pretty sure their lead hairs are gone, so they can't really hold the tip too well. So I am due to get some replacements. That right there. The bottom of his chin, real quick. It looks like a cheekbone, I want to say. Cheeks. And also, depending on, well, your skill with an airbrush, but it also helps what airbrush you're using. I've heard of and actually seen some people who even did all of like the tiny details and all that with an airbrush as well, without getting any of it on the rest of the model. It honestly blows my mind still. I am slowly getting there though. I only recently started, doing highlights with an airbrush. So I'm moving forward as far as knowledge and skill with that. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. How can I? You know what? I actually really like how that skin looks. Go on, Red. Go do the things. Go do all the things. Let's see if I can get. Oh nope. All right. I dare say I'm pleased with that. Now, I want to do his hair, but I totally forgot to grab a brown. However, there's this random brown right here. That's just here that I guess my brother left behind. So you know what? We're gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm just gonna use that. I have no idea how it's gonna look. It's definitely a brown. It's like a darker brown. The game color smoky ink. Actually, no, it's Vallejo. Forgetting Vallejo has like a bunch of different like little off brands. That said, I actually really like Vallejo paint. They're usually pretty smooth. I'm gonna give him some brown, maybe dirty blonde hair. Okay, looks like I probably can read like put some more skin right there. It looks kind of off. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but all good. Head all up in the camera. All right, give that a minute. Kidding, I don't have to thin Vallejo paints as much as I do Citadel paints. So it's a little bit too watery. I'm just gonna let that dry. On the plus side though, that does mean oh hey, there's another oh, I'm just scrounging with what I got here at the moment, and so far I'm coming up with ideas. While I'm waiting for that to dry, however, I'm just noticing a couple little spots on the bone of his shoulder pads that I just need to touch up a bit. Nothing crazy. Alrighty. Alright. Camera's there. Keep thinking. Alright. Didn't really need it here. It was mainly on this shoulder. Just a little spot there I need. One thing I always noticed by new painters, one of the main things that I hear they're intimidated by is just accidentally, getting paint somewhere that they don't want it. But that's really not that big a deal. It also, of course, depends on what you did with the paint that you got stuff on and what color it is. That could make it more difficult than others. But generally, especially just casually like throwing colors on, it's not a big deal. It's usually something that's easily fixed. So there is no need for intimidation. Just get lost in the model you're painting and forget about everything else in the world. Because at that moment, nothing else matters. Let's go. I am all off the camera. All right, that looks good. Grass right. Okay, let's get back to that hair. All right, now he's got some brown hair. Nice solid color. Coat dries. And hop into the Cadian flesh tone again real quick. Go. Now, one thing that still scares me when it comes to this stuff is eyes. Especially since I don't really have good brushes for eyes. So that's going to be difficult. And I gotta get real up in there in order to try it. But for the moment, now there's another random little brown here called Flat Earth. A little bit brighter than what I used before, so if I can use that. As, say, a little highlight for his hair. I have no idea how it's going to look, or if it's even a good idea. But that is some of the joys of painting. Just throw something on there and see what happens. Worst case scenario, I just cover it back up with the previous brown. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. I'm just taking the tip of the brush and doing little tiny jerk back and forth motions. Actually, I'm rather liking that. kind of makes him go from like looking like he has like just dark brown hair to kind of like a dirty blonde hair, which I'm all for. Honestly, I feel like I do brown hair too much. Yeah, I actually rather like that hair. Alrighty, that is one more little thing I want to do is on the hilt, the grip of his sword. I'm gonna do a little rubber black. It's kind of like it's less like a black and more of a really dark gray, but it just gives off the texture of it being like more clothy or rubbery for the kiss. Hence the name Rubber Black. And so far, I've been enjoying it for doing things like cables and such, or black leather. Alright, and with that, let's see about doing those purities. Now, the color I need for that currently not in this room. So, give me a moment. Alright, now, a lot of purity seals are, well, like a bright red, but since his armor's red, it would kind of blend in too much. So, what we like to do is use something called Screamer Pink. Because not only does it help it stand out, but it's also it gives off just kind of a waxy feel to it. And since it's like a little wax steel, it just makes sense. find all those purity seals and get to it. Leg right here. There. And I'm probably going to do a couple laps around the model just to make sure that they all look good. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know why I thought he had more. Paranoid now, I feel like I'm missing one. Right. That. Boom, purity seals. Dare say he's got almost all of his special colors on. That said, let's look a little bit. You, it doesn't look like I completely got you. Purity seal on his leg. Alright. And speaking of purity seals, as well as some other things, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of shading. Particularly on the gold and the parchment. I will be doing some shading on the bone as well, but that'll be in a different manner. Right now, I'm just going to take some Agravax Earth Shade. I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to go over all the gold brassy things. You'd be amazed how much definition that adds. The goal with these is to have them seep into the corners, keeping all the little cracks, crevices, and all that, which darkens all of the little like lower spots. Things like this just brings out the definition of all the higher areas. Right. Oh, wait. One more brass. And that would be his Iron Halo. All right. As you'll see already, like a lot of the like dark gold, brass, bronze looking decorative stuff just has a lot more definition. Right. Side of the sword guard here. All right. Why am I closing that? I am not done with you. Now, brush. Now that I've done all those, now I am going to do the parchment. Give it kind of that dirty, weathered look. Like it's old, dirty parchment. Some areas where it pools a little bit too much, I just want to brush and just soak it back up. Whisk some of it away. Now these flat ones, a little difficult get looking the way I want them to. Pooling where I don't want it, so whisk some of the shade off of my brush and try to soak up as much of it as I can. I Alright, and with that, I shall allow those time to dry before I do anything more with them. Oh, lost you. Stretchy stretch. Ah. Oh, where my headpiece go? There. Well, now, what to try to do next? Still haven't decided on what little patterns I want to do on his little shields, little crests. I'm not sure. I have an idea. Thinking having the tops and bottoms of both have some like checkerboard patterns. And then in between, when I get to that point, I'll probably throw like little number transfers in there or something. Yeah, I think that would look good. All right. So here's what I'm going to attempt. Can I paint a straight line to save my life? Apparently. Again, my brushes don't really have good tips anymore, so that does kind of make that a little bit difficult. The heck?
You need to brush with the sharp tip.
Okay. The brush fairy came. Ugh. The brush fairy came and delivered unto me a tipped brush. And it's a big boy. But it's okay. Size isn't what matters. Just the tip. Take that how you will. Now, with that, revive the Abaddon Black on my. Fix that. There we go. Cover that up and start that from scratch. You were a little better. Dooby doo. It looks good in my head, I promise. Alrighty. Again, shall we? A little better. And just all right. Shape that up into something more akin to what I'm trying to do. Makes me think of just, trying to carve something, get into the shape that you want. Back to the get that bottom line on that one where I get geez, my head's all in the camera. Probably going to be a lot of back and forth trying to get these lines right. That curved down like that. Ooh, got really thick. Not get these lines right for the life of me. the lines I want there. Gotta itch away the excess with some black in just the right way, and then I got, well, those lines. Ooh, it's proving a little trickier than I thought it would be. And for the life of me, I'd get them straight. think what's difficult is like literally trying to get all four of these lines to like match and line up with each other. Perhaps a different pattern is. Oh, I have an idea. Something that's not too different from what I'm doing here. What I'm trying to hoping will be first off, I just need to create a clean slate on these. Of course, you know that Rancor flesh being bright, it's gonna take a little bit to actually get that recovered. Let's see here. While I wait for that, I'll take the Rancor. Do another thing. That's bring back some of the color on the purity seals, rather on the edges. Just to kind of help add a little bit of texture. black. Been a while since I did any kind of lining. Other stuff on this that I am planning for another stream. There'll be a lot of like the airbrush highlights that with that said, that's going to be the end of my stream shift for today. Tomorrow, I'm hoping we can properly accomplish what I was trying to do with those crests, as well as see if I can't bring some life to this cape, as well as maybe properly shade these bone shoulder pads, and maybe if we're lucky, get his chapter marking on there. That said, those who are still around that are hanging out, thanks for hanging out. That said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.